Hi, I'm Adam Chaskin, the CEO of the Jewish Community Alliance, and your host today for Legacy of Leaders. Joining me today is the president of Manifest Distilling, David Cohen. Thanks so much for joining us today, David.
Adam, thanks for having me.
So first of all, let's just educate our audience. You know, Manifest Distilling, I know one, it's my wife's favorite and a lot of other people's favorite place to go, but how long you've been in the community and what is it that you actually offer?
Sure. So I actually grew up in Jacksonville, so born and raised, just a natural resident of the community. Obviously left, did my schooling, came back came back to Jacksonville, and Manifest has been around. We just celebrated our 7th anniversary. So we've been here a little bit, and we're downtown. That was really important to us to be downtown and try to bring more for people to do in the urban core or urban core adjacent. But we're a craft distillery. We're an organic craft distillery, so we make all kinds of craft alcohol, vodkas, gins, whiskeys, and rums. We have a beautiful cocktail room. We do lots of programming, whether it's jazz or vinyl music or hosting lots of nonprofits and try to be a real kind of contributor to the community, that East Side community.
Yep. So you mentioned hosting nonprofits. I know that you and the company are involved in a lot of different initiatives in the community to try to help boost up the community. Could you speak a little bit about that?
Sure. Well, the interesting thing about being in the alcohol industry is there's no shortage of people that need alcohol for events. So we get a lot of requests from people, hey, we're looking for items to donate. And when we first started, it was really important to myself and all of our founders that we go out of our way to try to contribute to the community. And so typically what we focused on is anything that has to do with kind of raising the downtown area. But then outside of that is the most important things have been arts and education. And those are typically the charities that we find ourselves gravitating towards. So
physically your location is right basically across from the baseball stadium near the veterans and of course the football stadium. Mm-hmm. All the construction going on around, can we still get to you?
You can, that's a great question. I think we're coming to the end of it, but again, 7 years ago we were down there is when we started, and in our original business plan, we had the shipyards listed as like things to come, and 7 years later we're still working towards it. So we're certainly no stranger to making things work, biding our time. The nice thing is we are a manufacturing facility, so we have the benefit of using it as our production space. But also, yeah, you can get to our space. The apartments right next to us are supposed to, knock on wood, are supposed to open by the end of this year. So parking should be a little easier. But yeah, we've been open through all of it.
Okay. To come back to how you help the community, you personally are, board service, and you're on the board at the JCA. That's how we first met. Tell us a little bit about why you chose to be on the board and with the JCA.
Well, I have to say, shout out to my good friend Rochelle, who brought me into the board. But aside from that being kind of a glowing recommendation from her to get involved with it, my children, I've got 3 kids. All 3 of them have gone through the Gan Yeladim preschool there, and I can't say enough good things about that preschool. And so it means a lot to my family just having our kids, be educated in that environment. But also just growing up in Jacksonville. That I grew up down the road from the JCA, and we were involved in the Jewish community my entire life, and I believe in the mission of it, and I believe in helping our community. And I think that organization, your organization, our organization is so important. As we continue as a society, finding ways to engage our community and offer resources to our community is just, there's nothing more important. So I'm happy to contribute whatever I can.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today. Appreciate everything you do for the community, the JCA, and everyone at large. And certainly for our audience, if you're looking for a distillery, please drop by Manifest. It is a good time. I can attest to that myself. This has been another episode of Legacy of Leaders. If you're looking for more information on this episode or any of our other episodes, please go to iwantabuzz.com. Thank you so much for joining us today.